Okay, so if you've been anywhere online recently, you've probably seen this new name just explode onto the AI scene, Sim. It kind of came out of nowhere, right? And the hype is, well, it's been pretty deafening. So what is this thing, and is it actually worth all the excitement? Let's dive in and break it down. Yeah, it really all kicked off with tweets just like this. And you got to pay attention to the language here, right? Breaking, fastest way. They're not holding back. But that comparison to a Figma-like canvas, that's the real key. They're not just saying this is another tool. No, they're framing it as a complete game changer for how we build with AI. And then you see stuff like this, calling Sim the Zapier of agent building. And I mean, wow, that is a huge statement. If you've ever used Zapier, you know exactly what that means. It's that idea of taking something super complex, automating and connecting different apps, and making it so simple you can just point and click. That's the promise here, but for AI. This one really hits home for anyone who's ever tried to build this stuff. It gets right to the core of the problem Sim is trying to fix. And that word babysit, it's just perfect, isn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling of constant frustration of debugging code that just keeps breaking. The promise is so simple. Stop babysitting. Start building. All right, so the hype is real, we get it, but what is Sim actually? Like, how does this whole thing work under the hood? So, the big idea, the main concept, is actually pretty simple. Think of Sim as a visual canvas for AI. Seriously, it's the same idea as Figma. You know how in Figma you can design a whole app just by dragging and dropping components instead of writing a mountain of code? Well, Sim wants to bring that exact same intuitive visual experience to building AI agents. Okay, so officially, the textbook definition is an open source platform to build and deploy AI agent workflows. Let's just quickly unpack that. Open source, that's great, means the community can get involved. Platform tells you it's not just one little tool, it's a whole toolkit. But workflows, that's the magic word here. It's all about mapping out a series of steps for an AI to follow, like a visual flowchart. And this really shows you the shift we're talking about. The old way, I mean, it was just a tangled mess of code, wasn't it? It was slow, it was way too technical, and honestly, just frustrating. The Sim way, on the other hand, is this clean visual flow. And here's the kicker, it's designed to be fast enough to keep up with your brain. You can actually build at the speed of an idea. Okay, so we get what it is, and we definitely get why everyone's so excited. But what does it actually look like to build something in Sim? How do you put the pieces together? At its core, it's all about these things called blocks. You literally just drag these visual blocks onto a canvas and then connect them with lines to create your workflow. A block can be pretty much anything. It could be an AI model like GPT-4, a data source, an API call to some other service, or even a step that just pauses and waits for a human to say yes or no. It's basically digital Legos for AI. And the really cool part is you're not trapped in some closed-off little ecosystem. This is where Sim really starts to shine. We're talking about being able to instantly connect your AI workflows to over 100 different models, tools, and apps right out of the box. And look, we're not talking about obscure tools here. We're talking about the big ones, the tools that basically run the modern workplace, right? OpenAI, Google Drive, Slack, GitHub, Salesforce, the list goes on. This isn't some theoretical, abstract thing. It means you can build AI agents that plug directly into the systems you and your team already use every single day, without some massive engineering project. All right, this all sounds incredibly powerful, but who is this actually for? Is this a toy for hobbyists to play with, or is this a serious tool ready for big companies? Well, if you look at their pricing, the answer's pretty clear. It's for everyone. They've got a really generous free tier so anyone can just jump in and start experimenting. From there, it scales up really nicely with affordable plans for freelancers or small teams, and then it goes all the way up to a full-blown enterprise option that has all the security and support that big companies are going to need. So let's pull back for a second. Why is everyone so hyped up about just one tool? Well, it's because what's happening here with Sim, it really points to a much, much bigger trend in how we build with AI. The keyword here is accessibility. It's a simple rule of technology. When you make something powerful, easy to use, you don't just make the experts faster. You actually unleash a whole new wave of creators. I mean, think about what YouTube did for video production, right? Sim could be doing something very similar for AI, blowing the doors wide open for both coders and non-coders to start building. And this quote just nails it. It calls it a Photoshop moment. And that is such a perfect way to put it. Before Photoshop, graphic design was this super specialized, almost mystical field. But afterwards, millions of people could suddenly become designers. Why? Because the tool was visual, it was intuitive, and it was fast enough to keep up with their imagination. That's the kind of transformation we could be looking at here. So, all of this leaves us with a really big question. We've seen visual builders completely revolutionize other fields, right? Game design, animation, even web development. They've unlocked creativity for millions. So, is this the moment that transformation finally comes to AI? Because if it is, then tools like Sim aren't just a new way to build. They might actually be the key that unlocks what gets built next.